We're moving on to the end of Unit 6 in Adult Piano Adventures 2. We're doing triads on the G major scale. This gives you the primary chords and the secondary chords in G major. We're also going to be doing Shenandoah, the lead sheet on page 73. Now looking over at page 72, you've got the chord symbol review. A chord symbol is the letter that you see above the notes. You'll usually see chord symbols in lead sheets and rock pop style music. You're not going to see chord symbols in classical music. Now, you will possibly sometimes see it in some of these method books, but you're not going to see anything like a chord symbol in any classical music that you see. So primary chords are the three important chords in any key. The secondary chords are the minor triads. There is one other one. There is the diminished chord also. The diminished chord can also act very similarly to a 5/7 chord. We'll get to that another day though. So here's all of the chords, the primary chords, as well as the secondary chords, all the triads in G major. So try this with me. I'm going to go very slow and I'll say what I'm playing here. I have a G major chord, which is your 1 chord. I move up to the A minor chord. That's the 2 chord. It's one of the secondary chords. Then another secondary chord is the B minor, the 3 chord. Then a primary chord, the 4 chord, C. Another primary chord, D major. Another secondary chord, E minor, the 6 chord. And then the last one is the diminished chord, starting on the 7. This is the 7 diminished. Now, do not get this confused with if you hear the term diminished 7th, a 7 diminished is not the same chord. And then if you keep going, you get back to another major chord. Now do the right hand with me. Also important to do both hands anytime you do any kind of exercise like this. Here's your G, 1 chord, major, 2 chord, minor. I'm only going to call it the numbers now. 3 chord, minor, 4 chord, major, 5 chord, major, 6 chord, minor, 7 chord, diminished, and then back to the 1 chord. There is no 8th chord. Something you can try with this is playing just your primary chords in root position. I'm going to do this with the left hand this time. The 3 primary chords are 1, 4, 5, 1, 4, 5. You can do this in all root positions. You can also do this in inversions. I'm going to move this closer to the center here. Sounds a bit nicer. There's the 1 chord also, 4 chord. And then I'm going to play the 5 chord and then the 5/7 chord. Now let's move on to Shenandoah. Shenandoah is going to stick with the primary chords in G major. Then it's also going to close position. What close position means is try to find the closest way from the chord you're just playing to play that chord that's listed. Let me give an example because I know that's a little confusing. So let's say I'm playing a G chord and the next chord is a C chord and it says close position. Then I'm going to try to find the closest way to play C, which is right here. I definitely don't want to do this. I probably don't want to do this. And I definitely don't want to do this. So this is definitely the closest position to play. So whenever it says close position, play an inversion or play something closer to it. I may not play exactly what you want to play, but just follow along with what I play. And I'm going to play all of the chords down an octave here. You'll notice that I started here and I ended here, all because of the way I moved for each chord, whether I played closed position or played another root position chord.